Oh, it just.
Okay, cool. So this is a lemon ginger blast. Go ahead, Hilda. Fire it up, baby. Lemon ginger blast. Apple, lemon, ginger, celery, cucumber, cilantro, mint. See why the Rebel is so handy.
Yeah.
You know, we could be doing halfway through the first apple. You know. If I don't make a mess, it's just not a damn McDonald Piper generator video. I'm too used to being out in the RV where, oh, it's all good. The birds will get that, you know. Might not eat meat, but I'm still a brute. Apple? Yeah. And we'll do a lemon here. Toss the whole thing in. Lemons are the only ones that you can throw in whole. You have to peel the oranges, limes, grapefruit. Why does that mean? I don't know why that is. You know, the oils are a little bit different. The lemon.
Skin oil. Bitter.
And let's do. Well, this is cucumber. A little bit of celery here. Celery is optional. Once you get your taste buds, I love celery. Plain. Cucumber. You have to do the mint?
Not yet.
Okay, that's the most important thing.
Okay.
That'll be enough of that. We're just going to do a little brief demonstration and a taster. And I'll do one more cucumber. Oh, I'll do some spinach. Well, the spinach does okay in the Rebel. If you bunch it like this, when you do the herbs in the Rebel, it helps to like bunch them out. I was going to do cilantro. You actually get more out if you take a whole bunch and put it through than if you just took like a few strands and tried to juice it. It would just fray into nothing. But when you take a bunch, it forces it to extract more. You know. Hope y'all got that. A little more spinach. This is the best beginning juicer. Okay. This is the Breville Juice Fountain Elite. There's also a Breville Juice Fountain Plus, which is a recondition, which is $90. And it's got a lot of power. It lasts as long. I think I'll burn one of these up about every 2 years. A Breville Juice Fountain Elite. But nobody juices as much as I do, you know. And I go crazy, you know. And I just juice and just, you know. So I've been through about 3 of these things over the last 6 years, you know. And then you can save all the extra parts. And then when one thing goes out, like a shaft, you can just take the next motor and take everything, and you can, you know, keep switching them around. But, you know, if a juicer lasts you a year and you use it every day, that's pretty good. These, you know, these about, I'm saying about 2 years before it just kind of like, it's no longer, something goes out. You can always order these pieces, but it's really the motor that, you know, there's a part, the black part underneath there, I lost that on one of them. The other one one other one it just stopped working. There is a reset button, and if you do get it wet, it'll stop. And so I got it wet, and I thought, damn it, it didn't work. The reset didn't work, and then I let it dry out. And because I used to have it under my RV, it would get wet. And once I let it dry out, it worked again. So there's other little things, but Breville Juice Fountain Elite is the best juicer for the beginners. Plenty of power, easy to use. I mean, boom, you just saw that. Like, if I just wanted to make this for my daily juice, I'd be done. See what I mean? And now it takes another 3 to 5 minutes to clean this up. So you're looking at maybe 10 minutes total for the most. I can do a juice and clean the juicer up in 5 minutes because I have a pack.
But any juicer will do, because I already have a juicer. I don't know how good it is, but
any juicer. I've never used a bad juicer, and no juicer is, you know, I mean, if it works, if you've got the patience to use that tiny little ghetto juicer, you know, and it takes you 20 minutes to get your juice, but you got your little glass of juice. Hey man, it's a glass of life. Juicing is a way to really slam the body with cell salt and get you started on the path. Get your taste buds to readjust to different foods. Get the microflora in your body to start to recalibrate itself to natural stuff. The chlorophyll just starts to knock out the bad bugs and starts to feed the good ones. You need to have an intestinal environment. You need to have an environment in here. There's billions of bacteria. You want the good ones. You want the ones that are, you know, there for an emergency, like Candida. You want that just sitting off to the side. People are afraid of Candida. Candida is your friend. It ain't the Candida that's the problem. It's that you keep eating the food that forces the Candida to come forth and do its job, which is to eat up all the excess junk that you're not digesting, metabolizing, assimilating, utilizing, and eliminating. So try to get on the razor's edge and just eat just enough to live. You know, eat to live and don't live to eat, so that everything's burning clean. And you just keep going and going and going, and you'll get cleaner and cleaner and more efficient. If you have a lot of excess stuff in your gut, the Candida just come up and proliferate because they're your friend. But your habits are off. Your habits are off. The Candida is there to help you. But if you quit eating sugar and white bread and donuts, the Candida won't have anything to live off of. So it'll slowly go away. So the Candida is a friend. You know, but the problem with the Candida is not the Candida itself, it's the Candida's excrement. And that's true with all the viruses and bacteria. It's the excrement. These little animals with little weird teeth, they're little weird shaped little things in there. They just chomping stuff up and pooping. And it's the poop that makes your armpits stink. It's the poop that creates acidosis, which causes you to get diseases. Acidosis, congestion, diseases. Did you do the mint?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just do a little thing here. And you are like
this thing to mix
the
it up.
shit. Oh, is that the mixer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll get some glasses. Oh, and you did the ginger as well?
Yes.
Oh, this thing is cool. Wow, I like that. Cool.
So this is kind of a any time of day kind of drink?
Man, you could live off lemon ginger blast for a long time because it's got the greens and the fruit sugars and the cell salt and the amino acids in celery, and the amino acids in spinach is loaded with amino acids, you know? And so you could live off this for long periods of time. Many people have. It's a great breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I've had lemon ginger blast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Certain things are constant in this, because I've seen it being made differently. Like,
is there a certain recipe? No. The only thing you need to know is you know, main thing is the apples, celery, cucumber, and then lemon and ginger, and then whatever herbs you got laying around. It doesn't matter what herbs that you use. You can use kale, you can use arugula, you can use cilantro, you can use parsley, you can use lettuce, you can use arugula. That's what we forgot. We forgot. Well, we'll throw that on the salad.
Okay.
But it would have been good. Arugula is one of the best. Arugula is a real good blood cleanser. And that just makes a nice nutty flavor in the lemon ginger blast. That's too bad we forgot. Let's try everyone out here. For you. Got it. And got it. And salute.
Cheers.
To health and life. God bless everybody. Amen.
Amen.
That's good.
It's yummy, man.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's just nice. Oh, that ginger's off the
Yeah.
hook. That was a lot.
Very tasty.
Nice, no problem. Ginger is one of the
Totally
best
agree.
herbs in the world. It's just an all-over, everyday body tonic. You can never have too much ginger, and it just constantly strengthens and tonifies continually.
Now, Dan, I do a lot of exercise, so is my body going to have a hard time adjusting to an all-raw diet, burning off so many calories? And my body's used to eating meat and using that energy to work out and to run. And
The beautiful thing about raw foods is when you're an athlete, is you get to eat and eat and eat. And it's just awesome. You get to eat until you're like nice and full. Because these foods are not as calorie dense. I mean, if you eat one cheeseburger, you're looking at 1,000 calories. Try to get 1,000 calories in red peppers. So you got to eat. You got to eat fruit. You got to eat vegetables. You got to eat a lot. You get to make these big giant salads. That's one of the problems people have. I went raw, but I just couldn't do it. I'd say, well, what'd you have? Well, I had 16 ounces of juice, and then I had a salad this big. And I'm just so hungry all the time. I'm like, you can't just have 2 sticks of lettuce, a carrot stick, and a 16-ounce jar of juice. When I have juice, I drink like at least 1 jar, sometimes 2. It's not unheard of me drinking 3 jars for a meal and going out to live my day. 3 full, not little ones like this, full 32-ounce jars. Now today with the OJ, it was ultra concentrated. So I drank 3 of these. 3 small ones, which is about 1.5 big ones. But with the celery and the cucumber, it's a little lighter. So you can't quite drink. It's not as calorie dense, you know. So when you eat raw foods, you want to eat and eat until you get it. Not to the point of being overly full, but sometimes people need to learn how to stretch their stomach out. Some people should have a nice stretched out stomach so that it will handle all these beautiful greens. You know, large volumes of herbs, spinach, lettuce, mixed greens, arugula, you know, red pepper, onions, you know, tomatoes, apples. You want to be able to eat to make sure you're getting enough, you know, in the phase of athleticism and strength. There's different phases in the raw food. I'm on a more of a spiritual thing, so I just try to eat as much as I can to support a little bit of yoga and meditation. I'm not doing, this is the first time in my life I'm not doing athletic pursuits. Letting my body rest. I was a bodybuilder, my joints still haven't come fully back. I killed myself, and I got into this thing in my head. Not good enough, need to be better, need to be stronger, all these things, and need to be whatever. To this very day, it's a stress on my mind that I need to let go of. Accept myself. That's another thing but that's just overall general for everyone, regardless of diet, is you have to accept yourself. And it ain't going to happen overnight with a lifetime of habits of self-criticism, which comes from God knows where, you know. So, not too bad on the LGB. Next, we could do a smoothie. So why don't I just kind of throw this stuff off to the side, and we'll just keep the film rolling. Is there any questions at this time?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have breathing problems.
What's that?
I have breathing problems. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, and so it's that feeling that you get when you can't take a full deep breath, and it's kind of just cut short, and I'm always yawning and things like that.
Are you afraid?
Am I afraid? I don't think so.
You don't think you're afraid of anything? How are your adrenals? Any idea?
I think they're okay. I've been taking some supplements for that.
Did someone tell you about adrenal weakness?
Yeah.
Okay.
The doctor I've been going to.
Okay, yeah, the adrenal weakness is always, you know, attributed to the lungs. The lungs and the heart are also attributed to emotions and a lot of times fear. That's why I just asked that question. You know, if you would have said, yeah, I'm afraid of this or afraid of that. We're all kind of unconsciously afraid of things.
True.
But, you know, some people are like totally afraid. What if our house burns down, honey? You're like, well, I mean, I don't know. You know, some people are just overly afraid. And then there's the more unconscious fears, which all of it needs to be addressed. There's nothing to be afraid of because you can't die. You know what I mean? But that might be your case as far as strengthening and rebuilding. You'll have to strengthen your adrenals. Did you ever smoke or anything?
No.
Never smoked? And so when you go to breathe in, it hurts?
It doesn't hurt, it just the chest feels tight. I've been practicing breathing through my stomach, but watch. I finish it up here. I can't finish it just through the stomach.
So you think there might be some congestion in your lungs because you can't, as you bring it in down here, you feel a limitation?
Yeah. It's when it gets up here is when it just...
Because usually the lungs, they fill from the bottom. When the proper breathing, the lungs fill at the bottom first, middle, and then the upper lobes. So it's actually, it sounds like you're actually okay, but what's the real issue that you think of when you think of your lungs? It's just you're not breathing as deeply as you think you could.
Yeah, it's all the time, so it's not...
Do you do much physical activity? Or does that inhibit you?
I try to work out at least twice a week.
What kind of workouts?
Just cardio.
Okay.
Like weights.
Cardio on what kind of machines?
I don't know what it's called, but like the...
Elliptical?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and you get breathing pretty hard?
No, not really. I start sweating right away. So to me, that's a good workout.
It starts what?
That's a good workout once I start sweating.
Yeah, so you go
I don't
for
really get
10 or 15 minutes? How do you
half
walk
hour.
or run?
Half hour. No. Well, I work. I walk a lot. And I also sit a lot.
So it just feels like a limited capacity.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like you've got any real health issues.
No.
I mean, and you don't look like you have any health issues. But what it is if you want your lungs to be stronger, you got to use them, make them. Everything in life is like that. If you want to develop those neurons in your brain, you have to. If you want to learn how to play chess, you got to play chess and lose a few games. If you want to learn how to breathe, you got to go outside and find a hill and walk up. And when you're breathing hard, keep going until you, and then you stop. You take a few minutes, let it come back, and hit it again. And then, but you always want to go. You know, let's say you walked up this hill, and you walked a half mile uphill. Well, then that was pretty good. You got a good workout. Well, next week you want to go 3/4 of a mile, and then you want to go 1 mile up that hill. You know what I mean? And you just keep and just use them, make them work. You know what I mean? And then you'll open them up. There's also dietary stuff, of course. The more raw food, dairy.
Coconut milk.
Oh, you quit the
I
dairy?
quit dairy.
How long have you been off the dairy?
It's July.
Okay, so it's going to take a while because the dairy is terrible in the lungs. I mean, it just sits there and it clogs up your lymphatic system. So what we have in this world is really inhibited cellular respiration, which for you manifests itself right in the lungs. For other people, their lungs are good, but oxygen doesn't quite get to the cells as well because there's a thick layer of mucus trapped between the cells. You really want high water foods, which allows oxygen to penetrate cells more easily. For you, it's just the lungs. So, but remember, for everyone with the lungs, the green is the heart chakra. The green is for the heart and the lungs. Nobody ever gets enough greens, you know. Fruit is awesome, but vegetables are balancing. That's why I have the unique Dan McDonald Life Regenerator Raw Food Program. You got a bowl of fruits in this hand and a bowl of greens in this hand. And then when you're building strength, power, or it's cold, you bring in the nuts and the seeds. But it's like really you're right here with half fruits and half vegetables. So you're going to have a lot more volume over here of vegetables, a really big giant bowl of vegetables. To be, I'm not talking really calorically, but I'm just talking about to bring like real balance, because the fruits are more concentrated foods. And you know, if you're like a master, you can just eat oranges for a month if you want, or just eat apples, and your body will be fine. But are you ready for the ride? That's going to be the shift in your consciousness of giving all up the stuff that you need and the ups and downs that come with your body's going to cleanse itself out. So the greens are for the lungs. And then you're going to want to just get out there and go have fun doing something. Find something fun to do. Take notes. You know, today I rode 8 miles down the Burt Gilman Trail. Tomorrow I'll ride, or next week I'll ride 9. Then you have this mental thing. Oh wow, you know, the 9 miles was harder than 8. And then the week after that you go 10. Pretty soon you do 15 and your lungs are getting stronger because you use it, you work them. It's like anything else. You want your brain to do it, you push it a little bit. You want your legs to be stronger, you break them down. And in an organic structure, what you break down, if it doesn't die, you know, then it rebuilds itself stronger. That's the whole principle of weightlifting. That's the whole principle of mental calisthenics, anything. You break it down, you do all that studying in school, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Then you take a few weeks off and your brain is a lot stronger, but you have to break it down and then you rest. And then you break it down by, you know, you could only run 5 miles last week. Well, this week you're going to run 6. And you break it down a little bit more, and then, you know, you just keep on progressing, you know. And you want to keep cleansing. The more raw food that you eat clean, the less fat, the less nuts, and the more of the high energy fruits and herbs, the more cellular respiration you're going to have in every single function. In your brain is going to have better blood flow, your lungs are going to have better oxygen utilization, your bloodstream is going to be more thin and more electrical, you know. So it's really a slow and steady process of continually healing and regenerating and energizing yourself and working out and breaking yourself down, but then you got to learn how to get a lot of rest. This life is one long balancing act from day one until you leave this place. To get enough activity, I mean, go out and work for 72 hours straight and see what happens. You'll fall over, probably dead. You can't do that. That's why we go out in the field, we plow the field, we work, and we come back in, we have a meal, and we rest. Body recharges itself through sleep, and we get up and do it again, you know?
Yeah, I was having something very similar to her, and I thought at first it was weight, because I'm a little bit heavier than, you know, most of the people here. And I went and got checked out. They said my lungs were fine. I had enough oxygen in my bloodstream, and so it came down to it being stress related and anxiety and all that stuff. And I think you mentioned some important things in your videos about eating when you're stressed and when you have something else on your mind. You know, it's kind of like a mental block, I think, for, I don't know if it's the same thing for you, but it was for me. And I found that when I started eating healthier and I started getting more energy, I felt a little bit better, and my lungs started opening up as well. Yes. So, you know, it's worth mentioning that it's not only what you eat, but also what's going on in your head.
How you eat it, yeah. So. Stress is the worst thing for the digestion. And there's unconscious stress as well. That's why we're all trying to shoot for enlightenment. Really a lot of awareness for everybody about everything. Be there with it instead of resisting it, which, you know, hey, I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But I keep having to remember, do not resist. You know, just allow yourself to be where you are and really just tap into the deepest part of yourself. It's very, very astute and knowledgeable. Like yourself. Inside of you is the whole universe and all the answers. And the quieter we get, the more we will be able to hear it. So we live in a kind of a chaotic world, and that's why we're all kind of nuts. Because the whole thing is, but if you ever get to sit by yourself and feel yourself, it guides you effortlessly. And then you go out and you do all this crap and you get off track and you forget, oh yeah, and then you get a little more quiet time, and you go, oh yeah, you know, you forgot, you got off track. You got to constantly reconnect with yourself and ask yourself the question. When I say self, I mean with the capital S, your God self, your total knowing inner consciousness that has all the answers that you need. But if you're not quiet enough, you'll never hear them, you know. So that's why meditation is very helpful, and contemplation throughout your day-to-day. Just checking in with yourself, like, hey, what's going on? Oh, you know, you're like, you know, I was like this yesterday. I was like, I've noticed this many more times. It's like, I'm like this. Just like, it's like this unconscious tension. Like, I got to get a bunch of stuff done. Oh my God, I'm never going to get all this done. I have so much to do. I get to take a vacation in a few weeks, you know. And I was like, whoa, dude, relax, man. Because I had the chronic tension between the shoulder blades, always like this, like, okay, you're on the defense. Relax and have faith, you know, and just keep on coming back to that. Relax, dude, everything's going to be all right. God takes care of the birds, He's going to take care of you. It's all going to work out, you know. You think about all the shit you got to do today, and it's like, okay, it's possible to do it if I just... But you don't want that. We got to make more space in our lives, and then let everything just... That's why some of us artistic people aren't... Left brain people can handle that. Okay, give me the schedule, and they just go right through it like a robot, and they thrive on that. Then there's us right brain weirdos who have no place in a society like this to go to school, and we're like artistic. And we're like, well, I'll make that video when I feel like it. You know? And it's like, well, I need that shit by 2 o'clock, man. You know? And you're like, oh, great. Hi, I'm Dan McDonald. How are you doing today? I'm making a video for you because I have to. And it really sucks, and I know you're all going to sense it. You know? So I'm just trying to make my life around what I am, which is, oh my God, I'm inspired. I better turn that camera on and make something happen. You know? So we all need to, it's just, we got to be true to ourselves. And we learn that, and we constantly keep learning that over and over again, to listen to ourselves and not, you know, all these other, you know, we can gather information, but in the end, we have to measure that information against our own experience in our own capital S self, going, you know, they're all saying, you need more exercise, but your inner self is going, man, I really need some rest. It knows you need some rest. The world is not going to say, oh, no problem, get more rest. It's not going to do that. They want you there 24/7 running on the hamster wheel, creating tax revenue. You know, that's how our society's set up. You got to be true to you and disappear, like, whew, get some rest.
You have 2 minutes on that.
It's already 28?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Well, that's a good video right there to end. Unless there was one last question we could do in 1 minute. Good? We'll do it on the next one? Awesome. That was part 2. Let's go for part 3.